just not getting there yet. But what is here now, or who is here right now, is our guest trader of the day. Let's go to Brendan for the introduction.
Hey guys, yeah, it's a holiday week, as we've been saying. Markets a little bit slow already, so we wanted to get in touch with some of our viewers and have AJ Pardilla coming on to join us for the remainder of the show to discuss all things market related, both today, AJ, and also this week. It's been, as I said, a little bit of a slower trading session today as this week is kind of winding down and the year is winding down. Great to have you, first of all. Welcome to the show. What have you been looking at today, and how have you found both volume and trading in general?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I was actually on BABA like with Sean, but instead of going long, I actually shorted right at the open. So, because BABA's done this before, where it gaps up right at early in the day, like pre-market, and then tries to fill that gap on the way down right at the open. So I just rode that along, and I have some watch lists that I try to keep, try to look at that I made up from last night, like Fubo. W is I'm looking at, and a little bit disappointed on that, and also Moderna, which I was hoping to break the pre-market highs but didn't. So
yeah, not much follow through anywhere today, even with the vaccine names. I was actually looking at that Moderna as well. AJ, you have a beautiful home. Where are you located?
I'm in Utah, the beautiful mountains of Utah.
Great.
There's a little bit of snow in the mountains right now.
Yeah, beautiful state. Love your Christmas tree. Let's bring in the guys here. We'll get back to trading.
That's a serious Christmas tree. What up, AJ?
Hey,
yeah,
Sean.
good. Hey, what's up, bud? Good for you. Yeah, thanks for you. Oh, I saw your tweet yesterday with that bull. Don't get too close to that bull. I saw where your hands were there. He might bite you there. Well, maybe I can show that tweet eventually. We are about to get broken here on Alibaba to the upside. You had that short, which was absolutely fantastic. We are fighting each other on that. I took a small hit, about $1 and change on that hit. Could you just run through me again? I heard Brendan ask you the logic there for why you like the short, but can you maybe just run that by? Say we're long right now. Can you just run that by me one more time, so maybe the viewers and myself can try to figure out what that short bias was? I mean, I talked about it with Mark Roberts. I thought it was overdone. I should have flipped over to the short, but just interested to see what gave you that idea.
Yeah, well, like if you look at like Baba's history, it does this all the time. I watch Baba a lot, actually. So, like it would usually gap up like overnight, like right, like
yeah.
If you look at yesterday's close, it was 238, and then you wake up in the morning, it's at 245, and you're
right.
like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? And so there's nothing really, right? So, and normally this is always for me at least, right at the open, it would sell off. So like when it gaps up like this, it would try to sell off and do a gap fill. So I try to do that, and I just I cover it right at the 238 area.
Great idea.
And then I actually try to go long, a couple hundred shares, I go long on that. But, like I actually took a hit. I gave up a little bit of my profit back. And yeah, I haven't gotten back in yet. So, okay. But actually, this 237 break is pretty good. So let's see what that happens there.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just saying there, I'm long 52s right now. So a nice little 30 cents in the money. I lost about $1.50 here. I think we can get back to 238, 239. So those are my ideas. I'm actually going to take some more shares on a VWAP break of 238 there. But yeah, great job there, man. And that's what you got to do. You got to watch stocks. And you got to AJ, I mean, good call. Watch your stocks, study. I love the gap fill. You filled it perfectly all the way down, man, from 42. You got out 38. I mean, that's a great out right there, basically, right what you said, filling that gap back in. So great trade there, AJ. I'm going to go see if I can manage this one right now in the money, 30 cents here on Alibaba.
I almost don't want to come away from this for a second. AJ, thank you for coming on here. And because it's such a great call, and I talked myself out of it because I looked at that gap and thought, it could actually press to the upside. So I had a breakout that never came in, but I'm just going to go back, and this is going to be like the 16th or the 17th, this gap up. I'm curious about the way that you entered this trade, because if I was looking at it on this particular day, and certainly most rollover trades, like when I trade Moderna, I'd be looking to see at these levels here, like that 265, it sort of gaps and retests it. And then right at the open, it retests that high, so you can use that high of day. You have a stop a little bit higher than that as well. And then you can get in on the roll, or are you taking a breakdown trade of the pre-market low? It's two separate ways of getting into it. which would probably have different risk parameters because your price is going to be vastly different. It's like a 264 entry or like a 265 quarter, depending on slippage, could be even a little bit more than that. So in terms of how you got into the trade, what was your approach when it came to today's gap on Alibaba?
Yeah, actually, like what gave it to me is that big red candle, like right before the market opened. So
Oh, this is a 15. Let me.
well, it's a 1 minute candle actually. Like I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh, there we go. I have it
But
up
yeah,
here.
like to me, like I actually play Baba a lot. I play a lot of options. I do swing trades on Baba. Like I would buy it when it's on the dip. I feel like it's a dip, and then the next day it would gap up. Then I don't sell at market open, and I end up losing that trade. So like more often than not, for me, Baba always kind of gaps down, right? Especially when there's a gap up right at the pre-market. So like on these type of trades, I do play a tight spot, like because I do put in a lot of shares right at the beginning. So, the 50 cent, to the upside, I want to take that loss right away. But I gave it that pre-market high as a stop. So, and it worked out for me. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, again, you're always going to want to make sure you have an out. And I sort of say this, it's like if you don't know what wrong means in your trade, then you don't have a trade. You essentially have a bit of a gamble. I'm just going to go back. I mean, the market is still sort of moving here, so I want to just jump back over to Pinduoduo, just to let you guys know. It is starting to make a, whoops, let's go back over here to the 1 minute maybe to show you guys. It is starting to make a bit of a top again. It's still grinding higher, so I'm still going to hang on to it. But at some point, as we continue to form a bit of a wedge at the top here, I'm going to start moving my trail up, and the next price is likely to be a 175. I'm going to throw it to 174 shortly, but 175 is that next level. It gets really, really tight up at the top. There's always the opportunity, if you're a day trader that's active, even if I get trailed out of it at 175 and it maybe holds that range, I can take a breakout later. I can just get back into the trade in the afternoon. So I don't have to hold it. I am, of course, still holding onto it right now. I'd love to see it go to 180. But because it's so easy to get back in, if you have restrictions, of course, maybe you're holding on for one big move. That's not the way I want to play it here because we have that ability. So that sort of leads me to this. If I can, AJ, is it really just one in, one out on some of your trades if you're going to be swinging more or trading the Alibabas? Do you try to do any scalping of portions of your trades? Or if you're trading a different style of stock, will you maybe take smaller wins for more shares? What's your overall approach to getting in and out? Is it one time, two times, three times? How do you work it?
Oh, so Baba, I did a couple of times. Like I said, right after I covered, I actually went long. But then it didn't work out. It came back down, and I got scared because I was holding too many shares. So I kind of sold out for a little bit of a loss. But I do do more of like one in, one out. And I would, like, for instance, Blink. I caught that 42 bottom right there, like the 42. I think I got in at about 42.70. And then I rode it all the way to 44. I even bought some calls for next week, so weekly calls. And got some shares in, some weekly calls in. And then I sold it around 45. That 45, I saw that big red candle, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell. And then anytime the chart that goes sideways to me, that's when I sell because I don't know if it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, so I might as well just take profit. So I sold there, but I kept half of my weekly calls for next week, and I'm still holding half of it. Actually, I was getting ready for the show. Looks like I missed that $47, upside there, but I'm still holding it right now. I might get out soon.
Yeah, so I mean, again, if you see the chart like moving around here, I'm just sort of throwing it up because, and I should be throwing up to be perfectly honest, because I had what I don't think was a great set of trades on Blink. I mean, it made this, like, you're gonna see here, and if I can maybe put a 3 minute up just so it'll show executions a little bit better. Yeah, so it made the move to the upside on the break, on this little break here. I had the nice little pullback bounce. I took it off too early. I stared 47 in the face, trying to hold for a bit of a home run. I then bought the dip back in, so I then had an average price of like a 44.80, and then I take it like a tight stopped hit because on the way back down, I'm like, oh shoot, it snapped off 47. It's gonna test the bottom. I just want to get out of it. The problem with that trade, if you have an overall bias, is get back in at the bottom. The whole point is you should, like in Pinduoduo, I was like, no, I'm just holding on to the long because I love it. And again, it didn't test as low. But that's a great trade off the low there. I kind of lean towards, at least for the rest of a day trade on Blink, thinking it could make a bit of a pullback because this is like two tests at 47 now and a couple of rejections. So I would probably try it to the short side if I really liked it off 47 one more time. But overall, I think one of the things we mentioned was you get those 2-3 day pullbacks on a strong stock, and you start thinking about, okay, where's the run going to be? So I definitely like that look there, AJ. So good look. Another name on our watch list. Speaking of which, is it coincidence, or do you sort of follow every single day some of the names that we're throwing up there? Maybe we're looking at some of the same sources. What's your approach for developing the stocks that you trade?
Yeah, well, I have you guys playing on the background almost pretty much every day while I trade. So every day, like I always tell my friends, like you gotta build a watch list and kind of trust it, because the watch list is kind of like, you're starting to know, like, when it's up, when it's down, when it's going sideways, like what month almost, like, they kind of rotate into. But I watch a lot of YouTube. I check out you guys' watch list. I'm in a couple of Discord chat rooms that give me ideas on like which stocks to watch and which call options is, getting volume and stuff like that. So, and, at night I try to like, get at least 5, or so stock ideas that I would focus on in the morning. And then in the morning, when I wake up, I look at their price and see if it confirms the levels that I'm looking at. So like Blink, for instance, I've actually been a long-term position. I've been holding a long-term position on this for a while. And I sold it a couple of days ago at its highest, 56, luckily. And I've been waiting to kind of re-enter it. And I saw a little bit of a bottom yesterday when it started going up, but especially after market. So I'm like, maybe I'll watch it today. So it was on my big watch today. So when I saw it kind of dip back down to the pre-market levels support, that's when I entered back in, and luckily it worked out.
Yeah, fantastic little trade there. I'll throw you back to Sean in a second, but it's not just that pre-market low. Yeah, on the big dip down, resistance back if you go to like the 29th in the morning as well. So it was a bit of a resistance turning into support this morning. Fantastic look on that chart there, AJ. I love that trade.
Guys, like Tesla, like facepalm. Like, thanks for the notes, guys. No, I'm just playing around. We had Tesla, we had it. Don't even know why we dropped it there. Like, so stupid. Today we got to focus and drink some more water. But that's okay. We got out because it was bouncing around. We want to make sure we took some profit. But there's the win up to that level where we were going to get out, 678 and change. I don't know if we'd be out by now, but we would have tried it, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, and then someone said, well, what about your Snapchat? Yeah, that goes right back up to 50. So some of these drops here, like we averaged in there, took some, actually, no, that was out there. Then we took this trade out, and now 50 breaks. But I still don't love Snapchat at that level, so that's okay. And then right now our CCL. Again, sleepy time. Like, no one's doing anything right now. I might average it a little bit here, down to 85 if we can get that one. But a trade that I am waiting for, Palantir. So let's just wait to see. I still like this taking out the top one more time. Like I said today, what is running the market here? Like, what is sparking this market to the upside? And at least we have one name here up 4%. So we'll watch out. We'll try it, man. We'll try this break right there of 80. We won't go crazy. It's already 11:16, and volume's already a little bit of an issue today on some of these names and in the market. This is a holiday market, as you know, AJ. Like, I mean, the trading's probably going to be done now. I'll probably re-engage in some trades in the afternoon. Is that something? We talked yesterday. I know you're basically, a full-time trader right now. Do you trade throughout the day, or are you like us, where you kind of just ease back and maybe relook at something again at the close?
I actually try to trade all throughout the day, but I do slow down a little bit once I hit my goal. So, like usually, like I would hit it around 9, if I do hit it, one of those days. But like, I try to keep my eye on the market, look for opportunities, especially on like a weekly swing on options or something like that. So I get out like around 2 p.m. like when the market closes, and spend time with my baby. So.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good call. I like to do the same thing. Normally we do hit the goals early, and you got to adjust your goal, right? That's the one thing that I want to tell everybody there. If you keep hitting your goals, AJ, just try to push that lever just a little bit more. And I think that's some advice that I could give to everybody there. That's how you sort of up your account, right? Once things are working and you're on a good streak, just push that goal a little bit, but keep your risk reward ratio the same, so that as long as things go your way, you'll just wind up making a little bit more money. GE today, General Electric, not a great day trade stock, but a name that I got hopefully some of you guys in, and it did move. We're in at 1050 on a daily chart, but today was a good move. It opened opened at 1050. Now we're all the way up. I do like GE. I think that's going to be a good play for 2021. I'm interested to see if that's going to be on Mark Roberts' list as well. And sometimes that's associated with a little bit of Boeing action as GE is in the aerospace game there. Watch out for Boeing breaking through 218. I do like that trade. Just checking back in on some of the names that we have right now. Alibaba, I mean, whatever, man. This is just like the whole market right now, just doing nothing. I'll try to average in down here 236 and change, and then using this 235.50 as my out. So that's what I'm doing on Alibaba. But yeah, it's just one of those days. Greg said something about, is this a new IPO? Maybe it is. What is
I think it's a SPAC.
Yeah, I think so too. RMO here and opening up today, doing 7 million plus shares. RMO, guys. Yeah, if we would have looked at this a little bit earlier, you did have a break. I mean, there was that FTIV SPAC that I didn't know much about, but this one here, 29 up to 32. RMO. Romeo Power, Brendan.
RMG acquisition is what I see, guys, for RMO, which is about a $775 million market cap right now. But yeah, decent volume first day on that one. So we'll keep an eye on RMO, guys.
Guessing, so it is, I see the new name. It's Romeo Power. So I guess Icon just hasn't switched that over yet. But RMO right there. AJ, I'm into some SPACs. Like BFT, which we're flat on today as a trade. And the other one I like is BarkBox right here. Okay, BarkBox doing pretty good today, up that 3%. We're in the money quite nicely on all of these. Are you a SPAC-y kind of guy?
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually, I traded a lot. Let's see, I was in Rocket when when that thing came out. Well, actually, SPAC. What's the recent SPAC? I do trade some SPACs. I just can't.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, like I was saying, there's that
actually.
BarkBox. There's BFT right now. What are some other popular ones? IPOC, I guess.
IPOC. I was in there. I sold a little bit too early on that.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking for re-entering. A couple of my friends re-entered yesterday, but I
Really?
didn't yet. So I took my money and ran.
Let me
Little
see
too
what
early.
let me see what I think about this. Of course, this is Social Capital. This was a name that Brendan's been talking to me a little bit after the show about. We like this. We like the management team involved with IPOC. So yeah. Oh, they got back in yesterday, maybe on this 15, 16 level there. Yeah, that looks like a good trade. This is a name that I'm not in, but I am interested in this as well. And I like DraftKings, which obviously is its own symbol right now. And then, you know what we haven't looked at today? Have you ever been trading Nikola? It sounds like you probably traded Nikola a couple times because you're an active trader. I mean, if you are one, you're probably in this name at some point. But this is the one-day chart for Nikola. I mean, this is a SPAC on crack. We went 30. This was VTIQ, $34 up to $94, and then now is just if you can't see this trend, then maybe you're in the wrong game. But right now it's to the downside. I wonder if we break. But any thoughts on Nikola?
Yeah, actually, Nikola was one of my biggest option puts winner.
Boom.
I first saw it back at 60, and I saw a YouTube video of saying like there's some shares that's going to be exercised that
Right.
People can sell after a certain amount of time, and it's about to happen. So I bought some puts, and I held it for like a month or so, and I think it was like 3,000% when I sold it. So that was a good run for me at that time.
Yeah, no, that's a great.
I haven't gotten
that's
back in for a while.
Yeah, it's 60. Nice call. If I ever take options, it's generally weekly or maybe a week out. So good call on that one. Wow, big time win. AJ, maybe you can be our options guy, eh, Neil?
I like the sound of that. I mean, personally, rarely dabbled in options plays, to be perfectly honest with you. But I love to play Nikola. I do want to, just very quickly here, because I mentioned in the chat, I know people are watching, I have been hitting some keys over here on BNGO. It was, again, one of these little failed breaks. And then, so the same thing happened here at 240. Failed breakout. I was short, got out for a 3-cent hit, got back in, was able to get a bit of a move down. And it's only 15 pennies last time. This time, short off of 275, I got 274s, and it's barely even going that 15 cents. If this was a big rollover, I still have half the position. I'm looking at that breakout last time at 240. If it gets to that price, I'll take the rest of it out, but it's a very active trade. You got to be ready to get out of this. And this is the other thing. If you don't have direct market access, the notion of, oh my goodness, failed break. I'm short and I'm watching the level 2, and I'm getting stopped out on that breakout. And it's the observance of that lets me see, oh, there's no bid here. This could be a top wick if I let this one go, and I just get back into it. There's plenty of liquidity for me to be able to do that, guys. So if you're not actively trading, there's no way you're making that kind of a decision or a read. It's very different from that style, which obviously I'm not sure whether you do that or at all, AJ. But I can ask you this, because certainly some of the skills that you've talked about here, I think would lend themselves to making long trades on some of these names when they do have big breakouts and trends, especially the ones that have been going for multiple days. Do you ever look at small caps for breakout trades or gap fills like you've been doing on some of the bigger names?
Actually, I like bounce trades a lot more, and BNGO bingos. It's like a couple of my friends have been really telling me about it, but I've been so focused on a lot of the other stocks that I try not to have too many stocks to watch. So for small caps, I'm in WATT, WATT, and MVIS.
What?
MVIS, we rode that that little gap up to 9, and then I sold a little bit. I think I sold all of it actually, and I'm looking to re-enter. Once it stabilizes a little bit. I think it's in a little bit of a downtrend. But yeah, BNGO for now is not in my. I'm not focused on it at all.
Okay, shout out to Jag. Thanks for that. Shout out to Jag Guzman here. Let's watch FCell. So, FCell, nice. We talked about that getting beat up yesterday on this move down side. Some of these names coming off. We talked about maybe building a position around 8, but here it comes, man, spinning right to 12 again. So I like this 12 break. Last time we were here, it broke it, smoked itself all the way back down, but 12 was right there. That was the top. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that we did have FCell. We're looking at it, and I want to thank Jag Guzman for that look. I am going to take this break. I think that some of these names are oversold to the downside. You had Blink Charging. We talked about that, but let's watch FCell in case it does get going here through 12. That was a big move from 1150. Really, guys, the break is right here, 1165 to get out around 12, but we'll see if that has some legs back. And what had legs back was CCL. It came all the way back, man. We went down to 21.85 there. I'm going to put a bid to see if we can average in, but we're going to be light heading into the end of the show, which is right now. And then Alibaba, put me to sleep a little bit here, Alibaba. I'm going to hit the air horn to wake everybody up. I know you're awake, AJ, but I'm trying to wake up Alibaba here. 237.50 would be a great one. We'll take a 238 break, and then I'm looking at 238.50 to go on that one. And if we could just get CCL to go up to these levels, even through 10, through 15, we could turn ourselves positive here on the day. We're teetering right now to get back to positive. Look at that PDD. That's just a monster going upside as well. I'm going
to do the backflip on it.
You had that one.
I've literally had 3 stocks that I've traded in the last. It's been like an hour here, and I think you said it best here, AJ. Well, actually, Sean said it earlier as well. You stick in your lane. Stick to what works for you. That's why I have not gotten straight too far away from BNGO staff. But Pinduo Duo, which I'm trying to hold on to here, it gave some signs of consolidating, and then I talked about sort of moving my stop. But really, it just goes to the perspective. You said it, AJ, when it comes to Alibaba and those gap fills. You just go back to the patterns that you've seen. And when I see these couple of sessions on updates, what Pinduo has done, there's just no reason not to have something. If you think it can go 10, 15, 20 bucks, even if it's not my style to hold the entire position, that's just not it. If I can hold a quarter of it, which I'm going to do here, and I get a push through 180, the dip was at 169 in front of the 168 level that I was talking about this morning. So if I get anywhere close to 10 to 15 bucks, I'll be very, very pleased with that. It's getting there now, but it is getting close to lunchtime. And holiday trade, a lot of times I know will mean don't anticipate the extended moves in the afternoon. Do you have any particular rules or things that you've observed when it comes to maybe end of the year trading, holiday trading, end of the weeks around expiration, just something along your styles that you just sort of file away in the back of your head and you trade differently around those events, maybe not according to your plan because of something you've observed on a particular day?
To be honest, actually, for the end of the year, this is actually my first year trading through the end of the year. So Like people are saying that people are going to sell, right? For rebalancing portfolio. But I'm like, for me, I'm like, I kind of don't want to sell because I don't want to pay more taxes this year, and just let that kind of go over next year. But by the way, Tesla just broke 683. That's
You're
crazy
a dead man,
right now.
AJ.
Tesla's crazy.
What?
You're a dead man, AJ.
That escalated.
Yeah, just playing around. Yeah, great call on Tesla. Thanks for bringing that up to cowbell anybody that's there. But just to let you guys know, your boy's got positive right now. So I'm going to hit the WTF to me today because it took me all the way, guys, all the way until 2 minutes to go. And there we go on F-Cell. So a nice little out there on F-Cell, putting us back to positive. We did it. I can't believe we're celebrating that one. Back to 2 or 3 negative days now in December. We'll see if we can hold that until next year and keep the momentum going. It's been a fantastic last couple months. There's F-Cell. Let's go. Valeria, what up?
Hey AJ, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you happy holidays and happy new year. Dear traders, another great trading day together. Please don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with you shortly with some live educational stream about chart patterns. So open the link I'm sending on the chat in a new tab and tune in at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time today. And happy National Bacon Day, everyone, especially Randy.
Yes. Everyone, that's all you got to say for bacon is yes. Bacon in, I don't know, just about everything. I mean, I'll get your thoughts here, AJ. We have all kind of, it's almost like a food for the National Day. I don't know why. But your thoughts on bacon?
Oh, I love bacon. That's all I eat when I go on cruises, and my wife always makes fun of me because that's all I have on my breakfast plate.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I like that. You're back in my good books, AJ. You're back in my good books there. Yeah, Tesla going, Snapchat not going. I just want to tell everyone that this Tesla trade was, one to be had because they should not have got this out. I kept saying 666 was the bottom there. Just got frustrated with Snapchat and everything today. But that was a good trade, 666 to the bottom. And there it goes, Randy, straight to the upside. I'm a big Tesla holder, so this is all good for me. But thank you, guys. It's been a big show. I want to thank you, AJ, as well for coming through. I think the guest of the day segment went fantastic with you today. So thank you so much, AJ, from all of us here at Trader TV Live.
Yeah, 1,000%. It went absolutely fantastic. So remember, Valeria just called it out there. Which one is it, guys? I want to throw the coming up here because I don't know the number, but
it's one.
No one's going to tell me. It's one? Okay,
yeah.
Well, we're not going too far away here. We do got to grab something to eat. And we're going to probably go to the bathroom, all that kind of good stuff. But 12:30, we'll come back. AJ, I hope you check it out as well on our Market Wisdom channel. We do education. Today, we're getting into charting. Some basics. We'll go into some patterns near the end as well. So check it out live. It'll be a little bit longer than some of our other topics, but we're trying to dive deep and give you the entire look. You know what time of the day it is. It is that time where we have to get out of here. We, of course, are back to trade the final trading day of the year tomorrow. As always, I want to give a big shout out and thanks so much for coming through, AJ, sharing with us your good trades and your experiences. It's a lot of fun for us to do that with all of our viewers, especially the ones that have been active for a long time. For the entire team, for Valeria, for man Sean, for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, AJ.
Thanks, guys.